Well, it's time for some homeboy hangout talk and conversation. Um, I know a lot of people in the world, I hear them say that they don't need anybody to live, they don't need anybody to survive, they don't need anybody to be who they are. And I know that they believe that, and to some extent, sometimes I even believe that. But I think that's a lie. All people need some sort of support system, some sort of support circle. Think back to Adam. He was given Eve. So as a child, you don't have much control over your support system because you have, or you're supposed to have, a mother, you're supposed to have a father, you may even have siblings. Those people are known as your support system because your mother and your father, your family are the nurturers. They're the ones that take care of you. They're the ones that raise you. Hopefully, they're raising you in a positive manner to direct your life in a positive manner for a positive outcome. That doesn't always happen, although the parent's there. So, but that's still, your support system. At a certain age, you get to the point where you can make your own decisions and things like that. So you can kind of decide whether you want to go away from. Yeah, when you get to a certain age, you can kind of decide what you think is best for you and what's not. Based from your parents' upbringing. I've seen a lot of people get older and they blame their parents for the problems that they're having now. And I can see some of that, but a lot of times you can decide to do other things despite how your parents raised you. But going back to the circle of support or the support system, as you grow, you start to create a circle for yourself. When you go into elementary school, teachers become a part of your circle and your support system. You have friends that you develop based from things that you like, they like, even if it's just playing. You create that on up into high school. You start to play sports, and your coaches come into that circle and they play a big part of your life, especially if you don't have a father at home or if you don't have a discipline at home and you join a team, then that has become your circle of support because coaches are there to lead, guide, and educate you, not just on the sport that you're playing, but how to be positive and how to do positive things on and off the court or field or whatever you're participating in. Then you go to college and you meet a new set of friends, and those friends might be very diverse from the friends that you ever had. But sometimes you don't throw away the friends from high school, you keep them. And sometimes you do throw them away for what you think are better friends in college. Either way, you're developing your circle of support or making that circle of support bigger. In my situation, I have a lot of friends that have become distant support circles for me. They're very distant from high school or whatever, or from childhood or whatever, but they're still a part of my support circle because I can reach out to them at any time and say, hey, I need this, or let's talk about this, or let's talk about that. And those people are there for me, just as well as my junior high baseball, football, basketball coach. He's been there for me a long time. I've lost some coaches along the way, but everybody needs somebody. So to the people that say, I don't need anybody, I don't really believe that. I don't even think they really believe that because everybody wants somebody to be proud of them. Everybody wants somebody to look forward to talking to. Everybody wants somebody to look forward to seeing. No matter who they are, no matter how much money they have, no matter how tough they are, everybody needs a support system. But the real question is, what do you do when you feel like your support system is failing you? Or what do you do when you feel like you wake up on that Friday morning, you should be motivated just because it's Friday. However, you're not. Do you have that one person that you can call and talk to, or those circle of people that you even think about? Just because you don't talk to them, if you could think back to a positive situation or something that made you happy when you guys were together, then that's still working as a support system for you. Sometimes people get real lonely and they go out and get animals. Now, I'm not saying everybody gets an animal because they're lonely, but some people get animals because they're lonely. Some people get animals because they love them too. But they get those animals and they start to talk to those animals like they're human beings, and they start to trust those animals and treat those animals like they're human beings. Sometimes you're looking for support from a place you can't get it. Now I understand because I love dogs, and no matter how many times I come home or I came home and I was upset, mad at the world, things just weren't going my way, the dog still needed me and I needed him. I'm gonna feed him. He gonna love on me. He gonna come to the door the same way. No matter how upset or how bothered I am, he gonna come to the door the same way, give me the same attitude and all that. And if he doesn't, then I know there's a problem. But going back to that question, like, what do you do when your day isn't going well? Who do you reach out to? What do you do when you feel like your support system isn't failing you? Sometimes you can feel like your parents are not doing what they're supposed to do in your support system, you know, and you always want I think you always want your parents to be proud of you or support you no matter what age you get. You know, I hear a lot of people say, well, you're a grown up now, you shouldn't need the support of your mother or your father. But I'm going to tell you straight up, that's a damn lie. You need the support of your family, be it your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, or anybody who participated in your upbringing. You still want that support from them, whether they realize it or not. Then the question is, how do you tell them that you want that support from them, that you still need that support from them? Because they may feel the same way that some others feel. Oh, you're grown now, you don't need that support. But like I said before, I'm going to say that's a damn lie. You need that support from your family. And just because you're on the older side of it, support may look different. You don't need them to support you by nurturing you, by feeding you, by giving you food, by giving you money. But your parents can always help you grow, be it the receivers of you being the support or just being the supporters. A simple phone call to see how you're doing and talk about your life or whatever. A simple, hey man, what you got going on now? Let me see how I can talk to you about that. They may not even be in a physical position to assist you, you know, with those things. You know, like I'll create an example. You're putting some pavers down in your driveway, but you've never put pavers down before. Your father's never shown you how to put pavers down before, but he's there because he's put pavers down before, and he can still tell you the ways to put pavers down. That's still your support system. Without that, you got to go to I'm going to say every man's father now, YouTube, and figure it out all by yourself, or just get out there without YouTube and try and figure it out by yourself. But if you have that father, that uncle, whomever that can sit back, because they're the age now where they can't touch those pavers. They can sit back and they say, hey man, it'd be much easier if you can do it this way. They've now shortened your time so you can do something else because you're going to finish quicker. They've shortened your frustration. And now you ain't got to be out there all day. You say, man, I got to go grab me a beer, man, because this is frustrating. You ain't got to go through that because your support system is still there for you in that way. You know, me, I'm a football coach. My mother doesn't play football. My father doesn't play football. But if I go through a football experience and I can call them and tell them about it and they listen to me and they can equate that to some other experience that they had, they make me feel better about the experience that I just went through, and they are still there being my support system, you know? So I enjoy reaching out to my friends for support and to talk about different ideas and different things. You know, we've been friends since we were 6, 7 years old. And, you know, most of the people that know me, I'm talking about Kevin, I'm talking about TJ, I'm talking about Curtis, I'm talking about Dennis, I'm talking about Tyrone. You know, my mentor of my life have been 2 people, you know, a lot of times, and that's, you know, Coach Larry Harris and that's my cousin Paul Moore. You know, so those have been my support systems too. Mentors are a heavy part of that support. You know, I am a mentor for a young fellow. Well, he tells me I'm his mentor all the time, and he calls me, he talks to me, and he's kind of like a son now though, because he'll call me and he'll fuss me out if I don't answer the phone or call him back in enough time. You know, but he's always around. I try to be there for him. You know, so in life you're gonna be mentors for people you don't even realize you're their mentor. So I'm thankful to have my mentors. You know, as I age, I might not reach out to them as much as I need to reach out to them. But when I'm in need, unfortunately, that thing, when he wants something, he gonna call me. But when I'm in need, I reach out to my mentors and discuss whatever it is, and they do a good job of sending me stuff, whether I'm looking at it or paying attention to it or not, because I wear a lot of hats and to participate in a lot of circles. So your support circle is very important. You gotta have it all through life. When you think you don't need one, you definitely do. I'm not saying you can't be fine spending time alone. I'm not even saying a person all the time has to be your support system. Sometimes you can put on some motivational speakers and motivational talks and link your situation with what they're talking about, and then that becomes a different type of backing system, for you. So it doesn't always have to be a person long term. However, I do think people need to be there for other people, in the long term, and you have to, accept and be in the circle, at some point. Sometimes you don't realize you're in a circle, but you are. It could be a circle of friends at work that you don't even think about, but the people that make your days at work a little bit easier, those are the circles. You look at getting to work because you're eager to talk with them or chat with them or whatever. Or like I said before, they just make your days easier. You need somebody in your corner all the time. And I've seen this happen too, being a college coach, or just having family come to college from our back home area. When those kids go to college, I know some parents, we feel like it's time for us to let them go. However, I'm not a believer in that. When you let your kids go, they haven't experienced everything they need to experience with you because you coveted them, you kept them out of certain situations. And when they go out on their own, they're going to get into some of these situations and they're going to need you. Sometimes they're going to need you, but they don't know how to tell you they need you. So continue to be the parent. Although those kids are off to college, don't leave them out there on their own to figure it out. Because if they're out there figuring it out on their own, they may do a great job at figuring it out, but it's probably going to take them much longer than what it needs to take them. It might take them all the way through college and out of college to figure it out. That one bad decision they make in college because of that lack of support at that time could haunt them the rest of their life, could haunt them the rest of their college career, or it could just take them a long time to overcome. So when you send your kids to school, don't stop being in their corner. Don't stop talking to them. Don't stop treating them like a parent. Don't stop visiting them because they're away from home. You think about it. You raise these kids till they were 18. They leave home, go to college. You don't come visit them for a whole semester in college. They've never, ever in their life been through that before. When they was at home, you didn't even want them to go away a weekend by themselves. But now they hit college, and you're going to send them to college 3-4 hours away and never come visit them their whole college term. How do you expect them to survive the nurturing you've given them every day of their life? You break it down to holidays when they come home to visit. So I'm not always talking to the kid or the person needing the support. Sometimes I want to talk to the people that need to support and be a portion of that support circle. That doesn't change when that child graduates from college and is working in a certain area. You still go visit. You still go spend some time with them. You still go show them that you got their back as a parent. And the friend circles are the same. In your friend circle, when everybody's single, everybody visits each other and kicks it and has a great time and talks all the time. Somebody starts dating somebody, it slows down a little bit. However, it might still be there. Now, let somebody in that friend circle get married. Once that person in that friend circle gets married, and sometimes they cut off the friend circle. The support circle they had their whole life, they let a young lady come in and she showed them that love, and they feel like they don't need anybody else that was ever in that friend circle. I'm a dead believer that that's a crazy way to look at it. If you got to marry somebody that's going to change your entire life to the point where you're unrecognizable, or you can't communicate with the people that have helped you get to where you are in life, the position you're playing in that friend circle is dead wrong. You have to do better as a friend in that circle and as a part of that support circle. So my friends know I say this all the time. If you got to marry somebody that's going to change you to your core, to a totally different person, that you're unrecognizable to anybody that played a part in your life, something's wrong. Something's not right. Now, they can elevate you to become a better person. They can elevate you to become better financially, whatever that is. However, you can't cut off all communication and support from your friends and family that you had your entire life. So I'm gonna get out of here, but I'm gonna get off my soapbox and talking about support. But hey, man, let's continue to support each other. Let's continue to do the things that we do for each other. Continue to support your kids. Kids support your parents, because parents need support too, and they support could come in the shape of kids just doing what they're asking you to do to be positive kids. So it comes in many different shapes and forms, but nobody in the world, when they say, I don't need anybody, quote me on this, put this on the box, whatever you want to put on the cereal box, you can put it on Twitter, you can put it on Instagram, you can put it on Snapchat. Them people that say they don't need nobody, they're telling a damn lie.